I was getting ready to record and then notice these little juncos come up on the deck. They're so cute. They're one of my favorite winter birds. We just see them in the winter, but then we see them up at the cabin at the lake in the summer. So I always sort of think about maybe they're the same juncos that come to my yard. I know that's silly, but that's what I like to think. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. It is Tuesday, December 4th. You'll notice there was no Vlogmas Day 3. I started out with very good intentions, and in fact I was in the middle of recording a segment when I received a phone call from my mom to say that one of my cousins had passed away. And needless to say, I wasn't feeling much in the Vlogmas spirit after that, and so I decided to take a day off. I come from a really big family on both my mom and my dad's side, and have lots of cousins, and some I'm closer to than others. And this particular cousin, while I was growing up, she lived across the lane and spent quite a bit of time at our house, and I used to babysit her. And even though we grew up so close together, our lives were very different. Our upbringing were very different, and she had kind of a rough life. So just I've always had a bit of a soft spot for this particular cousin, and just sad to see her pass. I probably would have seen her Christmas Eve as usual at our family get-together on my mom's side, so she'll be definitely missed this year. I thought about scrapping Vlogmas altogether, and I decided it helps get me in the Christmas spirit, and life must go on. I think it's important to focus on positive things, happy things, and so I'll give it a go, and I'll see how it goes. In the last few days, I know I've showed you my adventurous wrap, so I've worked on that, added a couple of more colors. So this is the first triangle. I think I'm going to have to switch this to a 32-inch or 80 centimeter circular. I think I have one, a free one in this size. It's just getting a bit long now. So I'm pleased with how that is kind of fading. And then this is the second one. So they're both at the same point now as far as number of rows and colors. I'm afraid maybe I've knit a little bit too enthusiastically. I'm very concerned about getting too far behind as the rows get longer. So I know there's a spreadsheet out there, and I think I'm going to look at it. I took a glance, and I believe it has stitch count after each section. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of figure out how many stitches I've left, divide them up, and get a sense of how much I should work on it every day in order to kind of finish up by around Christmas time. So we'll see how that goes. Also have been knitting on my Christmas pie socks. I have these in my what I'm calling my ugly Christmas sweater bag. You can see it kind of looks like knit stitches. Yeah, I've stayed up way too late. I was doing the heel, and I didn't like where the colors lined up, and so I took it out and redid it. I did a little bit more on the sock and then reknit it. And in doing so, I actually was able to preserve the color order on the striping. So that kind of tickles me. I don't want to lose my stitch rogue marker here. So yeah, I was able to go by knitting a little bit of the gingerbread. I was able to then have the gingerbread and the whipped cream for the heel and for a few rows on the leg, and then back to the red and green for peppermint. So I have no idea if I'll be able to do the same thing for the second sock, because of the striping sequence, or the striping sections are all different sizes, as you can see. But it gave me a this OCD knitter a real sense of satisfaction to be able to do it on this sock. So we shall see. I did do a little bit of decorating yesterday, so I'll give you a little tour of that next. One thing I did yesterday was to set up this village. If you look closely, you'll see these buildings are all made out of cardboard. When I was working at a craft store years ago, we got this book in of this Christmas village, and so I bought it. I thought it was cool, and I put it up some years and not others. It usually lives on my mantle in my fireplace downstairs, but this year I decided to put it on this shelf in our living room. So I bought these little trees. These garlands match the ones on our own Christmas tree. I'll show you that in a minute. And yeah, so bought little figurines. So I took a bit of footage last night with it lit up. There's a little, came with a little set of mini lights, and they poke through. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, they poke through a little hole on the back and light up the inside of the building. So our Christmas tree still looks kind of pathetic because all it has on it is garland. So you can see it matches the ones on the tree. And then I've got my Christmas angel up. My mom made this for me years and years ago. So she lives at the top of our tree. So I am planning to put the Christmas decorations on the tree today. And right now I'm in the process of fluffing garlands going around. That's our entranceway between our living room and kitchen. And so I'm going to finish fluffing those and I have bows and Christmas picks that go on there, and lights. So that will happen also today. And here's our failed attempt at Christmas garlands on the stairs. I had bought some new lights for the ones around the garland around the opening there, and we took off the old lights and retwisted the lights in with those and hung those up. And then we proceeded to sort out the lights that were on this garland, and we had it all figured out and strung. And we started winding the garland around the stairway, as we always do. And then when we plugged in the lights to see how it looked, they didn't light up. And then they were kind of flickering on and off as I was moving the garland around, and then that was it. We tried every single light, pushed them in to see if they were loose. We had already changed bulbs. And the bulbs, it didn't seem to matter if the bulb was there, was burnt out or not. The string was still working. So we don't know. So we scrapped it, left it like that. And today I'm going to pick up a new string of lights and we'll try it all over again this evening. The sun's going down. Look how beautiful those mountains look. Light reflecting on them. Can you hear the dogs? That's the kennel right there. Bane of my existence. We prevailed.